evening, everybody. How is everybody tonight?
Good evening.
So, it has been 2 weeks. We are back.
It has.
It sure has been 2 weeks.
Yes,
And people have gotten up into shenanigans.
It is gone by
and
fast.
all sorts of craziness. And I've been trying to do weird, dumb things that people told me not to do, but I decided to do it anyway because I'm big dumb. And yeah. Why does it only say there's like one people watching? I know there's more than one person watching.
I see multiple people in the chat. So
yeah, more people than that in the chat. What the heck,
Yes.
StreamYards? StreamYards, you lie.
Yeah, none of you are actually watching. You're just blind typing.
That's right. That's right. It's all in my own delusional head, which is probably not far off from the
Well,
truth.
it's because I haven't tweeted it out yet. So once I do that, then they all flock.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's all me. Hang on, no, I do want to get this tweeted.
I heard that.
So
What
we
is
got
that?
TV Hasselhoff in
Hasselhoff.
here. It looks like Scepter's
Scepter's
in
ever.
here or was in here. Phoenix was in here hanging out in the background. Invader Gaming was in here a little while ago. I don't know if he's still lurking or not. Eating Paste is in here. Jan was in here. Looks like Games was in here. Okay, so he just came in to say hi. 4GQ came in and popped in.
Italian clowns.
Who all am I missing? I'm missing people.
Paste.
Paste. I thought I clicked on paste.
Did you paste? Did you click on paste?
I pasted paste.
You pasted paste.
I
You got
pasted
Jan.
paste.
And you got Invader.
Yes, I
you
got
got
Jan.
Scepter.
Yes.
Oh, Camaro.
Oh, that's right. Camaro's in here.
He was
Or he
between
wasn't
your
here.
messages.
Yeah. Everybody might have filtered away because I think they came in pretty early because I posted this pretty early. I can never figure out when to actually like advertise this show because the moment I advertise it, it seems like everybody dogpiles in and goes, "Oh, nobody's here," and then they leave.
Yeah, I was up here kind of turning everything on. It was like 6 o'clock, and people were in the chat, and I was like, "You guys know, like an hour before." We actually
I
do
put all
anything.
the time zones in there. I put all the U.S. time zones in there at least. So it's one of those things. Oh, there's Carla. Hey, Carla.
Carla!
What's up, Carla? Y'all.
Oh, okay, Scepter lifted going in a tab. All right. So anyway, we are here once again. Rob, how was your weekend, sir? What'd you do? What you been into?
I think it was good. I don't think I did anything, which probably means it was a good weekend.
In and of itself was a good thing.
Yeah. The less I do on a weekend, the better. What's up, Mazen?
What's up, Mazen?
I think I played like through a bunch of games. I replayed Mighty Number 9. This
I
weekend.
never played that one. Is that as bad as everybody says it is?
No, it's not as bad as everyone says it is. It's not great either. So,
Well, you wonder if they patched it at all.
Probably differ, but it's worth a playthrough just to play through the game. Unfortunately, it just got the whole saga that went with the game. A lot of baggage with that one. I think it got unfairly evaluated because of the 2 years that built up into that game. So
I think everybody was expecting a Mega Man killer out of it, and
no, everyone expected a Mega Man game because that's
right
that's
because
what
it's
Inafune was promoting it as.
right.
And to be fair, that's kind of what he delivered.
Let's see. Admittedly, it kind of looks like a Mega Man game.
It was a Mega Man game. He wanted to make a Mega Man game. Capcom said no, so he said, "Fine, well, I'm gonna go make one of my own." And that's exactly how he promoted it. Here's a Mega Man game. Oh, can't say Mega Man. Here's a Mighty Number 9 game. Like all the other elements are in place.
Right.
But he did. I say him. I don't know how much he actually had to do with it, but there's enough different in the game to
not get sued.
Yeah, well, yeah, just enough to actually,
I don't know if I should put that comment up or not.
Just barely enough though. But there's actually enough unique gameplay in that to make it its own thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. A lot of people thought some of the movement kind of broke the game because of the dashing and stuff like that, and the fact that you need to do it, the fact that it was kind of like a little on the crazy side when you did use it. I don't know. A lot of people complained about balance issues in that one.
Yeah, it's
Overall.
it's not as refined, it's not as tight. It wants to be a Mega Man game, but it just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi of an
I was
actual
thinking you might say that.
pretentious. So it's I liked the dash function. Like it's a lot of fun just to zip. It's like you can zip through it just like Mega Man X. I mean, you're dashing through.
Right.
You destroy enemies by dashing into them, but you have to weaken them first. So there's a lot of ramming headlong into enemies that you haven't weakened enough yet, so you're just doing damage to yourself. It's
okay, I can see that.
And you also have like a time frame. Like as soon as they go into this weakened state, the clock starts ticking, so you can hit them as soon as possible. You get 100%, or if you are delayed a second, you get like 50 or 20%. So you're trying to hit it as soon as you actually weaken enough, which means it's very difficult to.
It sounds like you almost wanted to build the
when
game around
it's
like
time.
speed running, like a speed run version of
Probably.
Mega Man.
I've watched the speed run of it to see how playable it actually gets. It's worth a playthrough. It's not as bad.
I might pick it up just to give it a
so
whirl.
cheap
I
right now
haven't
because no
really
one
played
wanted
much
it. So
this
you might as well
weekend.
Because no
get
one want it right.
I have it. I've now I think double dipped on it. I probably have total paid maybe $10 for the game, physical
Yeah.
and digital.
Oh wow, for both.
So,
Oh wow.
Okay.
It goes on sale all the time.
The fact
Mike,
that
what'd you do?
Oh, let's see. Friday night services as usual. Saturday. What did I do Saturday? Saturday, worked out. Spent the day with my wonderful wife, beautiful kids. Saturday night, I feel like I did something Saturday night. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Did something Saturday night. Yesterday, yesterday, the hell did I do yesterday? No, I had a graduation party to go to yesterday, and then band practice with a band that I am kind of getting back in that I hadn't played with in a while.
Right.
I used to play keyboards with a 25-piece big band, and
That's a big band.
It called Mood Swings. Great band. And I hadn't played with them for a while since, my family was growing and I didn't have the time for their schedule. But they came to me a few months ago and said, hey, we want to kind of rotate musicians in and out. And we really want to have you back. Band camp. And I had subbed with them. And the guitar player from my current band, Days of Vinyl, plays with them still. That's how I met my guitar player. And so I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So I got a gig on July 3rd. So we had a rehearsal last night. So yeah, it's been a
How's it going, John?
So John,
been a busy weekend of partially doing nothing, but spending time with family, and partially being with friends and playing music.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got my Atari VCS video, I think, just about done.
More generous shmups. Yeah. Yeah. So we did an entire show on shmups, so I wasn't going to dive too much into shmups tonight, but that is another really, really good one.
That was my pick for the last time we kind of touched on this Retro Bro. Because Nick had this idea in mind, and I was like, well, I like that, but we've already talked about fighting games and shmups. What else is there? And then he actually had a lot of other genres that I agreed with.
Yeah.
So,
and that's mostly what I tried to put on the thumbnail for tonight. As far as my weekend, it was busy with a lot of real life stuff. I've been getting a little bit more back into VR just for a little bit of fitness sake, and just to experience some of the games that I've gotten for it. So I did some of that. Touch out as a fighting game.
Mazen.
And also an open world game.
I love you, Mazen. I love you, brother.
But I've spent a lot of time working on videos and things like that because I finally came to the conclusion that I probably am going to launch a second channel to give some more of like the game history and the game mechanic stuff a little bit more front and center notice rather than it kind of getting lost in what I have on my channel now. And so this channel will probably change a little bit. I'll probably do more streaming on this channel, quite frankly, if I can get ahead enough on the other channel. So there'll be more scheduled streams during the week. I'm already trying to spitball ideas of stuff I might want to do, like Evercade, modern game evening kind of thing, along with the standard retro stuff, that kind of thing. Maybe do some of those. I'd still like to do product reviews and stuff like that here. But I want to move some of the deeper content off to its own channel where it only has uploads, so that people can kind of experience that as a more focused channel. Because I feel like, well, I love this channel to death, and I have like no way, as long as I have a place to watch your age. Well, that'll be here, sir. So long as I love this channel, not abandoning it. I just kind of want to like refocus things a little bit to where it makes a little bit more sense. I like everything that I do on the channel. I just feel like it's so chaotic right now that it's just too much for like the one channel. Like certain things get visibility and other things don't. And
your channel's not complete until you can review a full size Megatron to go with your full size option.
Well, you know, if they'll make me one, even and if they do a robotic one, they'll have to do like a tank or something, and I'd be okay with it with that one.
Well, they would do the well, maybe not. Well, yeah.
You couldn't do the gun because it would fall.
You can't do the gun, but you could do. I mean, you could do the plane, but just the plane would be, would just scoot around the floor.
Yeah, that'd be okay. I'd be okay with that. And Jan, I think my wife wants that one. She's the big Lego fan, quite frankly. But yeah, we have a Master System Marceau in here. He popped in.
Oh,
so we didn't have a chance to say hi because we were all kind of busy. We should say hi. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge is gonna be awesome. I'm super looking forward to it. That's one of the reasons I put it as my background. It comes out right as I go on a call. Good times. That's frustrating for me personally. I'm just glad it's coming out soon. I'm super stoked for that one to come out. So yeah, no, I've been working on a lot of content. I'm doing a lot of shorter content on this, like 5 to 7 minutes, and I'll have longer content that'll take longer, but this will give me stuff that I can hopefully keep on top of, or spend like a weekend or so, get a couple of them done and get them posted. That way I have more time to just sit and really focus on the longer ones so that they're much, much better. That's my hope. Anyway, so what we have for you tonight, guys, overall is ordered on Xbox. Wow, holy cow. Yeah, I thought I was going to be dipping heavy in that one. Holy cow.
Also, what's up, Scrambles?
Game Pass.
Oh, Scrambles is in here. Oh, crap. I totally missed Scrambles. Hey, Scrambles.
Scrambles. What's up, man?
I might actually get it. Oh, that's
Jago!
Jago's in here. All right.
Jago.
That's how much it is. That's special because I kind of wanted those pins.
Oh, dude, it's so expensive.
$100? No, I will not get that.
I'm more tempted just to get the game and go out and buy all the fig pins. Because they have like 4 or 5 fig pins.
I don't want to make multiple stops, so
I'm just going to order the fig pins and have them delivered to my house.
Okay.
I'm going to order them online.
Yeah, that's a hell no on the.
Yeah, I thought it was like $30 versus $60.
I don't get me wrong. There's some cool stuff in that $200 edition. One had a like a metal coaster that was a manhole cover,
I'm
trying
to look this up right now.
It's unlimited.
Yeah,
games.
I think there's like a mask that you get with it. Like in that part is random. You get 4.
Yeah. One of them came with There's a couple of different versions of it. One of them comes with a random mask, a keychain, and a bunch of other stuff. There's like a bunch of crazy stuff that comes with
soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack I think you'll be able to buy independently though. So I'm not like I think you'll be able to get that on like Steam and then download it.
I hope it's good.
Oh, there's Jedi. Hey, how's it going, Jedi? Good to see you.
I mean, the soundtrack. I'm assuming it's going to be the same person who did the soundtrack for Streets Rage 4. So
I need to buy that one too, because you can buy those on like Steam. They sell them independently. I just haven't bought them. I gotta start doing that physical. More.
I might actually get I might double dip to get the Switch and the PS4.
I was gonna get it on Steam, and then I was thinking about getting it on the Switch, and then I was gonna play it on Game Pass, because Game Pass is gonna have it on day one. So that'll give me like 3 different platforms I can play it on. Game Pass.
Game Pass. I know you hate when I do that.
So what we have tonight is we wanted to do a discussion on various different genres that we think are a little bit underrepresented on the modern consoles and just in today's state of gaming in general. We're not going to talk as much about shmups tonight because we've already done one on shmups and how we think there need to be more shmups. We're also not going to necessarily do fighting games because fighting games have had a pretty big resurgence. So I don't really feel like those are all that underutilized right
They're
now.
not. Yeah, no. The 16th.
Yeah,
the 16th,
absolutely.
Jago.
I would absolutely use that as a way to stream it. And Jago, I think it comes out day one. I thought.
Yeah, it comes out on the 16th. Hold on.
Yeah, that was the 16th or the 17th.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I'm looking.
It's Friday, is what I thought.
That's what I thought too.
And that would be the 17th.
That sweet 6-player co-op. That's just
Yeah, 6-player co-op on that is going to be bonkers. And my concern,
16th.
Okay. So even John says day one Game Pass. Yeah. So my big concern with, at least with Shredder's Revenge, is the Switch version, because I think 6-player on the Switch is going to be a little. One, because it does like Wi-Fi when it connects anyway, and just its processing power in general.
Yeah, my goal was originally to get just the Switch version, but then people were talking about doing like online play as a group, which sounded fun. But the Switch, I don't think that's its strong suit. So
I don't think it's crossplay.
I don't think so.
I'm looking. I don't think that it is. No. By the way, the soundtrack is being done by Tiago Lopez.
You can
Oh,
voice
T.
chat,
Lopez?
but you either do it through Nintendo's.
Well, he did the soundtrack to
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania.
Yep.
Which was
I haven't messed with Sonic Mania. I bought it, but I haven't
I know we're
installed
talking
it
about
yet.
the soundtrack though, which is amazing.
Great. If you are an old school, and I'm talking Sonic 1, Sonic 2 fan.
I'm definitely I like Sonic 1, but I like Sonic 2 a lot better.
It's a very good homage to that.
I'm okay with that because I loved Generations, and Generations had that nice mix between the two. And I got Mania, and God, there was another one I bought, I think, that was also Sonic focused that I can't remember anyway. But John, to answer your question, you can through Nintendo's app do voice chat with the Switch, but what I usually do is I go into Discord and have everybody pile on the Discord because it's just easier. And I can even do that on my phone if I'm sitting on my couch and just plug in a set of headphones and go that way. I find that much easier, personally. That's just me. Jan asked about 2D platformers. And honestly, I don't feel like 2D platformers themselves are underrepresented. Especially Metroidvania-style games. There's tons of those, especially in the indie scene. Now,
I think 2D platforms are quite well represented.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking like Mega Man, probably the closest thing new outside of Mega Man 11 I can think of that's similar to Mega Man might be something like Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight gives me a lot of Mega Man vibes to it while playing very differently. But it definitely has those Mega Man roots and feels. Hey, Brosup, good to see you, man. And Born Distracted is here.
Cousin Born, Brosup.
I would love a cel-shaded Sonic, quite frankly. How does it have Sonic City music?
A cel-shaded...
I would like a cel-shaded Sonic. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Why does that not surprise me?
You know what? I'm totally fine with that, man. I love it when Sonic gets some love because they have like a weird track record with them. The 2D ones are almost always really good, and the 3D ones are always like hit or miss. Like some of them are really good, and some of them totally miss the mark.
Sonic
like they just don't understand what to do with Sonic, and I'm like, he's a speedster character. You make him go fast,
right? You
make all his attacks based on speed.
Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 did a good job.
Hey, Jim.
Colors. Hey, Jim. Colors, not so much. But there was one.
You know, I heard a lot of good things about Colors when it got re-released on the modern platforms. A lot of people really liked it.
Good too.
See, I think a lot of people liked Unleashed, and I need to get Unleashed.
Litter House Off, by the way. I like the idea.
Litter House Off. Thanks for popping in, man.
The reviews were all over the place for that game, but even the negative reviews was like, I kind of want to try it anyway.
Well,
I
it
kind of
seemed
like
like-
Unleashed get bumped to a modern console because wasn't that dropped right around the Wii era or something like that?
Yeah, it was on the 360.
Yes, it was on the 360 for sure. Hang on, it was on 360.
Is Sonic better than Mega Man?
It is not. Sorry. Not even close.
See, there's something wrong.
Similar doctors, though.
Yeah, so Sonic Unleashed hit PS2, Wii, Xbox 360, PS3, and mobile. But the thing is, the Xbox 360, yes. So the Xbox 360 version became backward compatible on the Xbox One, and then the Series X and S versions have a 60 FPS boost. And apparently, from what I have been told, that completely changes that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Unleashed looked weird to me because you're doing that whole werewolf thing, and I wasn't really feeling
I think it's
the werewolf
werehog.
thing. I wasn't feeling the werehog thing when they showed it, so I kind of like went, I don't know.
Because to me, the impression I got was like it's a traditional 3D Sonic game, competent, and then also it's a God of War game. So I was like, well, that might actually.
That's bizarre to me for Sonic.
I know that's what everyone said, but maybe it works in retrospect.
I don't know. If I find a good deal on it, I'll probably pick it up just to say I tried it. Hey Vash, good to see you, man. Hey Games. Why they're both blue? Do they have the blues? Hey, digital only downloads on the city from $1 for $5. You know what? I've got that.
My man.
I think I've got that on my tablet somewhere, and I don't like playing it on my tablet. So I need to find a different platform for it, is what I need to do. But some of the ones that we were thinking that we would talk about were stuff like platform puzzlers, 3D puzzle games like Portal, RTS games like Command & Conquer, mascot platformers, which they had a small resurgence with Spyro getting a re-release of the original games. Ratchet & Clank's still in force, but I don't necessarily think of that as a 3D platformer.
That's kind of like
more of a 3D shoot 'em up
shooter, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's more of a third-person shooter kind of game with a comic book mascot kind of thing, with a cartoon mascot, which I love that series. So no shade on that series. I love that series.
Well, I think everyone said that game was like one of the best games of the year. So
Rift Apart's amazing. That game's phenomenal. It translates, it moves from scene to scene so quickly, and they can do so much on it so fast, and it plays so clean. It's hard for me not to just gush on that game. I have so much fun with that game.
I am waiting for that.
As far as like, and Jim's kind of right on it already too. That was one of the ones I thought of. Is
Yooka-Laylee, like, that's right. But that's been several years ago,
Mario
hasn't it?
64 or Banjo-Kazooie. And Yooka-Laylee is actually specifically meant to evoke Banjo-Kazooie. So games like that were a dime a dozen.
Well, because again, it's made by the same developers as Banjo. So it's some ex-Rare folks that created Playtonic, and then that's why. So if you it's why it's called Yooka-Laylee, because it's the same Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, well, I got it. I got the joke.
Yeah, and it's the same character.
I mean, they're trying it again because were like a dime a dozen on all the consoles.
Hey, Arizona, good to see you.
Hey, Arizona, because Microsoft won't
Studios
actually make another.
Hey, Omnilight, there's a bunch of new people in here tonight. I'm sorry, while you guys are talking, I'm trying to catch up and say hi to people. I'm sorry.
Razzo said
that's dope.
Carla sent him.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Carla. So anyway, go ahead. Go with your thought, guys. I'm sorry. I see people. I'm getting distracted.
We were just talking Yooka-Laylee, but
okay.
Please,
games like it. So there's also a Hat in Time, which also was supposed to be like it's just like Mario 64. It kind of just
that one came out before Mario Odyssey, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was supposed to be an old school 3D platformer. I don't know how well any of those games did. I don't know if anyone likes those games anymore, other than Mario Odyssey.
That's my thing. Is they tried to bring out that Balan World thing, which looked like it was going to be that kind of game.
Balan Wonderland.
Yeah, and then it just turned into something else that was just kind of weird. And I really wanted to like it because they had the right art style and the right feel of a game I usually enjoy. I had a hard time getting into it.
There's a whole story behind that game.
I'm sure there is. We might have to do like an episode where we just talk about like games that suddenly became a train wreck that should have been gold, because that one looked like it should have been amazing.
Yeah. So, Balan Wonderworld was it? Did you?
Dude, I miss my Nintendo 64 and my GameCube. You kidding me?
I do miss my N64. Which reminds me, I do need to see if RetroArch does, because I still want to play that. So you know I mean, I can give you just a very, very quick overview of Balan Wonderworld. So it was created by Yuji Naka. Yuji Naka went in, worked for Square Enix. You guys remember Yuji Naka from Nights into Dreams. It was supposed to be a game that was not spiritual successor, but it was supposed to be kind of like Nights into Dreams.
That's what it reminded me, yeah.
And that's why, because it's made by the same guy.
Yeah, Mupen 64 does 64 pretty well, and Dolphin does GameCube really well. It works great on my Steam Deck, so it'll probably work on your VCS too.
Well, RetroArch, I just need to get some. I just need to get some ROMs to go with the carts that I've got.
Oh yeah.
But
Project 64 is also pretty good for Windows. I've heard that too, John.
So then Yuji Naka sued Square Enix because they fired him and never let him finish the game. The game was basically unfinished, and they released it unfinished. There was a whole thing about that, and he laid it all out on Twitter. He basically sued Square Enix. So it's a shame. That's a damn shame.
I don't know how you'd replicate the mic for Hey You Pikachu. I didn't even think about that. Seaman would have the same problem if you tried to emulate it. That'd be another one that you'd really struggle with.
Or there's another GameCube game called Odama that was from actually the creator.
That one have audio too?
And it had you could only control it with the microphone. It was obnoxious.
It depends on if the emulator would take it, because realistically you could take a regular microphone, plug it into the USB port. Sure. But the emulator would have to be able to pick that up though. And pick it up,
yeah.
I don't know if they
I don't know. In that case I would probably want the original hardware for those.
Yeah.
I don't know. The original hardware I found better for 64 games anyway, because the way like Mugen 64 and the other ones kind of map buttons on that one, I find frustrating sometimes. Because a lot of times my face buttons will get mapped to, the C buttons will get mapped to the right analog stick, and it drives me insane. Particularly if I'm trying to do, like if I want to do, say, Killer Instinct, having the map to the analog stick drives me crazy. I don't know if it will or not, man. I honestly have not tried that, so I don't know, quite frankly. Minecraft would be open world crafting.
Yeah, that'd be a crafting game.
God, we got so much chat that I'm like so easily distracted tonight. It's a good problem to have. Yes, I did, Jago. I'm always a fan of Killer Instinct, my dude. I'm terrible at it, but I'm a fan. I've been a fan since the first one, man.
You see Jago's avatar.
Oh, I know Jago, and I know who Jago is. Yes, I do.
Big time. That's my boy right there.
Oh, you're fine, man.
I know.
That's absolutely fine.
Look,
I have more fun interacting with the chat than I do doing our regular show. This is never a problem for me.
Yes, Erazo, welcome to Retro Roots.
Yeah. Welcome to Retro Roots, where we're always off topic except for when we're on topic.
Yes. StashNet just popped in.
StashNet's here, yes. I do have enthusiasm for it, but I'm not the biggest Lego fan. I've done a couple of kits, and they're fun, but they're not as much fun for me as they are for my wife. She really, really, really enjoys Lego. And hello, StashNet. So, as far as it comes to those kinds of platformers, you were talking about Balan Wonderland. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! I that was the gist of it. I didn't want to
back on the topic.
I didn't want to no. I didn't want to take up a lot of time with that game. It was just it's unfortunate because that when you talk about genres, yes.
Yeah, topic.
It's like NLG where we don't get to the first topic until like an hour and a half in.
Oh God, it's more like 3 hours sometimes.
Well, but I to the point of Balan Wonderworld, that is a genre that
I love the dinosaur.
I was hoping would be good because that is a genre that I would like to see come back. Nights into Dreams was a very different. I
never got too deep into that game. It was a neat looking game, and what little I played of it was really fun. I thought that got a release on another console afterwards because I know it was originally Saturn.
Well, it had a sequel on the Wii.
That's right. It did, and I think I had that one.
I have that one too. Well, what genre would you say Nights into Dream was, Mike?
Flight sim.
I mean, I
don't know.
Flight sim. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
It's an analog stick stimulating game.
Yeah, very much so. And that
tech demo. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, you can't.
That genre.
Honestly, you can't play that without an analog stick. You can't.
We actually talked about Mighty Number 9 not that long ago. Actually,
yeah, to rewind to about 15 minutes, you'll hear me going on about it.
It was before Jim showed up.
It was before your time, Jim.
Yeah. I love how you phrase that. It's before your time.
Wow.
Uh-oh. There we go. We're already going to get in trouble. I can already tell.
Oh, my God. There's Jago.
Oh, it's going to be a wild night. I love it. I love it.
Oh, good night, Brother Thomas.
You out, Thomas?
Aha. So there is...
good night, man. Thanks for popping in.
It looks like using... DCEMUL, which is a Dreamcast emulator, you can use a microphone for Seaman. Sandwich!
Oh, so you can. Okay.
So you
can emulate and use a mic for Seaman, which means you should be able to, in theory, to do it for the 64, one would hope.
I would think so, but I think you'd have to program that into the emulator itself.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a bear for some people.
It depends on how.
I would like to think that the people who would make Dreamcast and GameCube emulators
would work that in somehow.
That they always consider, like they have microphone options.
Unless they just hadn't gotten around to that in the project yet. Sometimes those things take a back seat because, I mean, I'm sure it's got a cult following, but are there really that many people clamoring to play Seaman today?
No. But you know what?
Maybe Hey You Pikachu, because that seems a lot more fun.
I guess I see more with the GameCube than the Dreamcast,
but talking about genres of games that you want to see come back in this day and age with the weird ass games that people are making these days, you would think something like that would come up again, right? Somebody would want to do something like that. You know, we have walking simulators. We have,
farming simulators.
Farming simulators, UPS delivery.
We have a goat simulator.
We have a goat simulator. You can't tell me
the most accurate representation
of a goat ever.
And no, Microsoft said there's no Goat Simulator 2 coming. Sorry.
See, I feel like that's a lost opportunity because that for a while was kind of like comedic gold on YouTube.
Yes.
And Jago, I could totally see being. I was annoyed I'm always annoyed with myself that I got rid of my Dreamcast. Period. At the time, it made sense for me, but older me is annoyed with younger me.
I still have
Stalin simulator. Oh, what?
Date
with Stalin. Oh, that sounds. That sounds like a good way to get demonetized. I bet you it was funny as hell, though.
Wait a minute, you know what? I still do. This is the part of the show where Mike goes to his collection. I still have the microphone for Seaman.
This is one thing I'm missing. I have a Dreamcast and I have the game.
Seaman was kind of...
it's a virtual pet, is what it is.
It was a virtual pet that you would talk to different times of day. You would have to adjust the temperature on its tank and stuff like that. it would eventually evolve into a different creature and start asking you questions and things like that. And the reason it came to mind is because when you were mentioning Hey You Pikachu that used a microphone so you could talk to Pikachu, you could use a microphone to talk to your little Seaman as well, who was voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
Nimoy, yep, I was going to say.
Leonard Nimoy was just the narrator.
That's right. He was the narrator.
I thought he was
some other creepy guy that was a Seaman.
Wait a minute, hold on. Oh,
and Sam and J didn't officially say, but hello, Sarah. It is always lovely to see you.
Haha, I said.
Sandwich has exactly 21 sandwiches.
All right, hang on. I will find out who voiced, because you are correct. I
can't hear that enough. Now, Jacob, I think if memory serves, I think Seaman would die even if you did.
Oh, it didn't matter.
I think he was very temperamental, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
You could do everything right. The game would still kill it.
It did not matter. No, it did not. And that game was a mid-'80s game. Like, people liked it.
Which one are you guys talking about?
Seaman.
I was catching up on chat. Seaman, that was in a mid-'80s game.
Yeah,
it was 90s, man. Dreamcast was like 90s.
No. As far as like reviews.
Oh.
Sorry.
It was actually a well-reviewed game.
Mm-hmm. It was. The Dreamcast had lots of games like that were just weird and worth having, and kind of made the Dreamcast have this neat, really weird, unique energy. So that's why I think that the people who make Dreamcast emulators would, of course, think of a microphone function.
I would think so. Now, N64, maybe not as much, because I think, honestly, Dreamcast and Seaman, Hey You Pikachu, come on, they both had games on there like that. I can't imagine somebody who loved something that much to make an emulator would forget about those games. That's just me, though.
Kramer is the English dub voice of Seaman in Seaman.
Who's?
Jeff Kramer.
No idea who that is.
I'm looking. He is... I don't know that he has any other...
Damn it, Jago!
I'm looking up stuff, and I'm missing what Jago is saying. Hold on.
This is the night. To use the joke that the rest of us were just waiting for an opportunity to...
This is the night in which Retro Roots changed forever.
Yeah, pretty much.
The night Jago found us. Jeff Kramer.
I'm okay with it. With
it. Jago knows he's the man.
Oh my god.
Love that man.
Pepsi Man on the PSX.
God.
Oh, our chat. Oh my god.
Was it though, Marceau, wasn't Pepsi Man on the Xbox as well? I don't
think so. I thought it was PlayStation only. I thought it was one of those. Didn't you have to buy enough Pepsi to be able to even get that game? I don't think they just sold it independently.
You might be right. I can't get my mascots correct. Doritos and Burger King was Xbox. Maybe you're right.
Dude, the episode on Seaman and the episode on Pepsi Man were like gold on AVGN.
Oh yeah.
Goldson was really why you upgraded to an Xbox One X.
Okay, so hold on. So Jeff Kramer was in Deadly Premonition. He was in the Superman Man of Steel game as Superman. He was in Shadow the Hedgehog as E123 Omega. He was in Knight's Journey of Dreams, the Wii sequel. He actually was a voice actor in a bunch of games. He did some voices for Jet Set Radio Future, Ace Combat 4.
Jet Set Radio Future was amazing. Jet Set Radio was amazing. I don't think I ever played Future. That was on Xbox?
Yeah. I had Jet Grind Radio, which was the English Dreamcast version. Typing it in deadbeat, Seaman.
I was leaving that up there for you to see. Carla's really chomping that a bit for you to do a topic.
I know. And you know what? So this is what I'm going to do. Carla, I figured out what I'm going to do. That is the one game that I'm going to emulate on the VCS, and I'm going to use my Bluetooth keyboard or my wireless keyboard, my
That should
Logitech
work.
keyboard, and I'm going to play that game for you. I promise. Cross heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye, all that stuff we used to say as kids. I am going to do that for you.
I could absolutely see Doom being a good jump scare because I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm probably aging myself, but I think it was like 15 or 16 when I played Doom. Doom came out.
Yeah.
And that game was honestly, if you go back and you look at some of the like the pixel animations for those old 3D games, they're almost creepier than like the really detailed ones we have now. Just because it looks so much more unnatural.
Well, especially too because they were 2D, so when you moved around it, it moved with you.
Yeah, it's just super weird.
So there we go. Jago still has his Jet Grind radio. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. That's a great game. That's a great game.
It is. I stream it once in a while.
Goosebumps honestly had some pretty interesting episodes, but growing up with the Crypt Keeper,
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt made Goosebumps seem very tame. It was hard to get scared of Goosebumps when you're watching Tales from the Crypt when you're younger than that. So it was kind of a struggle to get spooked. However, they do have some really, really cool ideas in that series.
Brother Carlo is back.
Mavis is back. Yeah. Typing games. GQ TV's back in the house. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Gamers United Guild is representing tonight.
We are, and we have not really been on topic for more than like 5 minutes.
Well, we kind of have. We talked about the need for. Did we ever decide what genre Nights into Dreams was? I mean, it's kind of an adventure game, but
I always looked at it as like a 3D adventure game, right? And it's not necessarily a platformer because you don't really platform; you fly everywhere in that one,
right?
But I would call it like at least a 3D adventure game.
I could see that.
Because there are like 3D roaming sections, right, in between the flight, or you kind of have to.
I appreciate it, man. We love having a crowd here, man, and we love meeting all these new people. We got tons of new people in tonight, and that's phenomenal. I love when we get to meet new people.
Hey, Nick, Omni Light Studios has a question for you.
Oh,
Carlo is awesome. Okay. Carlo is awesome.
You set me up, sir. We actually did an entire episode just on Toe Jam and Earl, pretty much.
I would say that is a roguelike dungeon crawler.
Yeah, I would definitely call it a roguelike game, and I agree with that assessment pretty much.
So as long as you're actually playing the random mode, probably not so much the fixed.
I could see. Yeah, I don't know if I see roguelike because you don't die and come back, but I do see like an isometric platformer. However,
I say roguelike because like everything is again, if you're playing
everything's so randomized, and that's
everything is random. Like where like one
playthrough.
I don't know how many playthroughs you'd actually have to go through before you actually got like the same RNG lineup. I don't know.
See, Bourne thinks Knights is more of a 3D rail shooter, but I don't know if I see it that way personally. That's just me.
So the only reason I could
or just collect those.
I thought you just collected it, and then
a 3D rail.
What's up, Fastback?
But I get what he's saying because you are on a track, so you go left or right, and you really are guided to where you have to go. It's it's not a shooter, but it's on rails, except for when you're on the ground. When you are on the ground as one of the two kids, it's free roaming. But when you are knights, I kind of get that. Toe Jam and Earl,
I get the rail part of it. I just don't get the shooter part.
It's not a shooter, but it's a game on rails.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
And by the way, the one thing that you got, because you didn't get far enough. I mean, I know you don't like the original Toe Jam and Earl, so you didn't do the second one. The second game is a 100% 2D platformer.
I thought about trying that one just to try them both, and I even gave some thought of trying Earthworm Jim 2, since everybody keeps telling me that one's like, new.
It's miles better than Earthworm Jim. Miles.
Mazen, you know I always love you, man. Elotes for the win, sir.
Mazen, why you?
Toe Jam and Earl was definitely a unique experience. My problem my biggest problem with that game wasn't the actual walking or the gameplay itself. Well, in a way it was, because the present system and the randomization of it was what drove me crazy on that game, because it was random on random on random, which made me, and since I'm not good with RNG, I struggled a lot with that game. I managed to beat it twice, once with save states and once without. But it was definitely, I felt it was more luck along with a little bit of skill to help me finish that game rather than just skill in my case.
Yeah. Luck is part of it. That's, I don't know.
Luck is part of it. I get that.
I never got deep into Eternal Champions. I do like Eternal Champions, though.
I like this man. I like this man, Omnilight Studios.
No, Omni's got a lot of good retro knowledge in here.
Yeah.
Razzo's got some in here, too, man. He's, he had a bunch of games here on PS2, none of which I really recognize, but you guys might. Because that was not really big on PS2.
We're talking to each other now. Let me just address Scrambles real quick. Have you played the new, the Back in the Groove, the new Toe Jam and Earl? Because they did I love the soundtrack is probably my favorite part about Toe Jam and Earl. It's like CD quality for that one. So good. So if you have any means to play that game, actually it's on sale. It was on the PS4. So look
PS4,
for it.
Xbox,
for the soundtrack.
PC.
Yeah, I heard good things about that one, and it has like online co-op too.
It does.
So you can have both characters on the screen.
It's a much smoother experience than the original.
It's a good mix of the games, and the other thing too, Sega put out, and I'm sure it's on PlayStation. I've got it on Xbox. Sega put out the originals with online co-op, much like they did with the Streets of Rage stuff. So you could play the original Toe Jam and Earl co-op online if you have it on Xbox or PlayStation. The other one, though, that you should try, honestly, is Toe Jam and Earl 3. It's the one game that Greg Thomas really didn't like as much because Sega sort of forced him to make that game the way it was. And when I interviewed him...
Hey, see you, Rocho. How you doing, man?
We interviewed him on NLG a couple years ago, and I told him, honestly, I'm probably one of the few people on the planet that likes Part 3 because Part 3 is more, it's a three-dimensional, like, third-person adventure game.
I saw some footage on that.
I think
I need to do like a full background thing on some of these, and I did that. Well, I've written one up for like Punch Out, right? That I'm going to be working on. Hopefully, after I get one or two more short videos kind of buttoned up. Right now, I'm just kind of buttoning up last minute things on the first 4 I did because I wanted to have like 3 weeks of like 2 videos a week ready to go when I came back. So I've been working on those, and then I wanted to start recording longer ones. And some of the things I want to do are like the history of certain games or evolution of certain games, right? And so that's one of those. It's had kind of like a lot of changes through the 3 games that I had. You had the roguelike one, and then you had a 2D platformer, and then you had like that 3D exploration one that you had as well, right? So you had like 3 radically different game types in the same with the same IP, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. So what we call him eating paste.
So Omni, I did the same thing.
How's it going, Paste?
What's up, Paste? What's up, Paste now? Joe Diamond.
He still has like my favorite name online.
I know.
Like it took me a while to get it. Once I got it, I got that as like the funniest damn thing ever. I love it so much.
Toe Jam and Earl 3 is the reason that I know how to play the Toe Jam and Earl theme on the keyboard. It's one of my cool game journalism stories. Sega got me in touch with Burke T, who did the Toe Jam and Earl 3 soundtrack.
You told us this story once. Go ahead and tell it again, though, by all means. But I remember you telling the story at one point.
Did I tell it on here?
I think you told it during the Toe Jam and Earl.
Okay, I don't want to take up time doing that again.
Nick, pimp that episode. I'm just curious.
Yeah. I can put. We've had so much chat on it. Yeah, I'll pull it up so you guys can kind of go back and rewatch it if you guys have an interest in it. Obviously, no pressure here, but I will find that one. So give me just a moment. Matter of fact,
fair warning. There's a fair
I gotta
amount
do
of
some cleanup
bickering
because
in that episode.
I had all these podcasts in a playlist, and then I've not been putting the new ones I don't think in a playlist. So that's on me.
Yeah. So is a bickering.
Go into I'm looking forward, guys. Continue entertaining the crowd
when I was because I wanted to buy Toe Jam and Earl 3, and at that time it was only like $20. But then someone else told me it sucks, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hold off on that. And then by the time I went back again, it went up to like $35. So
here, I'll show you.
I think I found it here.
Yeah, here, I'll at least show you this. This is really cool. Let me share my screen real quick. For those who have never seen this, I know I've shown this to you guys. So after I reviewed in 2002, after I reviewed Toe Jam and Earl 3, Sega got me. Sega got me in touch with Burke T from Open Door Productions, and he actually shot me the chords for the theme. No, I have it shared if you want to show.
Yeah, hold on. I'm making sure I have the right link to the right one. I'm dropping that in there so you guys can watch it as you want. That was our second episode. You guys believe that?
That was a great episode. So I scratched out a couple of email addresses, obviously, to protect folks. But yeah,
I've seen this email. Yes. I remember this. Go.
2002, and he said, "Hi, Mike. I never sat down and officially charted this out, but here he is. He wrote out for me the chord chart for the bump, and it was." And I mean, he's like telling me about the syncopation and all the D chord could be substituted for the D minor. And I mean, this was awesome. Like this is like one of the, so basically I was like, you wouldn't happen to have a chord chart, would you? And he sent it back to me. This was so cool. So one of the many things I did back as a young game journalist for Next Level Gaming. Back when NLG was actually a website.
So Omni, that link is in the chat now. You guys should have that for anybody who's interested in watching it. I have most of these in a playlist. Matter of fact, I'm missing about 8 in a playlist. God, I'm terrible. I'm going to have to go fix that. Oh, God, I'm the worst.
That was 20. Holy shit. That was 20 years ago.
I can totally believe
realize that.
I can absolutely believe that.
I was 28. Man, was I young.
Wow. Hey, just old.
Now
like the rest of us.
Old. I am an old man.
Like the rest of us.
I'm pretty sure I'm the oldest of the 3.
You might be, not by much though. I'm pretty close on your heels there.
You are. Oh, Platoon. An email that old just means we're old. That's right. That's right, Jago. No, thank you guys. Scrambles, Omni, thank you. Platoon for the NES. So I had Platoon for the PC, and it was the same game. Oh, that was a really
I've seen Platoon
game.
Played on the NES. I've not really dug into it. I've seen it a couple times though.
That was
it has the developer is famous. Who is it? It's
who did that?
Not like Bethesda, but it's like the as big a name as Bethesda.
Hang on. Sunsoft.
Yeah.
It was Data East and Sunsoft, and developed by Ocean.
Okay.
No, the NES version, not the PC version. Are you serious?
The NES version was done by Sunsoft. According to
fact checking.
Why is this listed on Crappy Games Wiki? It says the developer is Ocean Software, publisher is Sunsoft.
Yeah, go to Moby
the
Games.
NES.
That's where I typically look for these.
I don't remember this game being that bad. I remember it being tough.
It was
what
different.
I've seen of it, but I don't
it was
remember it being
different.
It's a 2. That's where it is.
Yeah, it's a 2D, but it was hard as hell.
Hey, Panda.
Panda! What's up, Panda? He is
Okay,
hard at
well,
work.
yeah, they're one for being terrible. Platoon was a great movie. So was Full Metal Jacket. I don't go back and watch them
Full
very
Metal
often,
Jacket.
kind of like Saving Private Ryan, because I'm usually like really bummed out by the time I finish them. So
Full
I
Metal
can't
Jacket.
really sit down and watch them all that often.
That
all
is
that
one
often.
that I just stop where I go. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was
yeah. I
difficult.
gathered that it was super difficult from what I saw. Yeah, like I saw a few people using like just
Insanely
cheats
difficult.
just to survive the game because it was so
Insanely
ridiculously
difficult.
hard. Yes, I remember seeing the tunnel rat segment. It was kind of like it almost had like a Goonies 2-esque vibe where you'd go on the doors and it'd be kind of like first person, you'd be moving through it, or the Jason Friday the 13th game where you go into the cabins. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that in the perspective. It's really, I found it really interesting that the NES did so much of that. I missed a lot of it, but it was a really cool thing that they were able to do even way back then that you could obviously do way better now, but it was just so cool to see it done in 8-bit.
Panda, what's up?
So it depends on who. It depends on what the platform was, to whether Data East or Ocean or Sunsoft published it. It looks like Data East did most of the. Data East and Ocean kind of looks like, just from what I can see, looks like they kind of split the computer versions, and then Sunsoft did the NES.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Sunsoft's a very solid company, but they had
Ocean
they were weird because they would do some just like slam dunk games, and then they would put out some stuff that you're going, why is this so generic or so lackluster? Like, they did a few off things in there. It was kind of weird, but overall, they had a really good track record from what I remember on the NES
and SNES.
That's right. They were still running on the SNES days. Yes.
Did they do? I'm trying to remember if they. I
think they went downhill very quickly with the 16-bit era. They did mainly Looney Tunes games on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't remember them much in the 16-bit era. I remember them mostly for their 8-bit era.
Yeah, I don't even know how many games they actually developed. Did they develop Arrow the Acrobat?
No,
I don't know.
Arrow the Acrobat was Iguana Entertainment.
Okay, so I mean, I think they probably did a lot of publishing on the Super Nintendo and just stopped making games.
This took so much work for him to key in. Holy crap!
They also they did publish on the Genesis too, because Arrow the Acrobat, the Genesis version was Sunsoft. Batman: Return of the Joker, was also Genesis as well as NES,
and also Batman the video game.
Batman the video game. Was that something? Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Sunsoft did both the Genesis 16-bit one and the 8-bit one on the NES, and they were like they were less than a year apart actually.
Yep. Superman on the Genesis was Sunsoft. I mean, they were a pretty popular publisher.
Hey, Metaguide, good to see it.
Not all of their games hit, but hey, Metaguide. But there they were.
So, to reel us back into the topic, another one that we were kind of discussing was puzzle games, both 3D and platforming puzzle games, because I actually did some digging to see what 2D and what are some of the best puzzle platformers out right now, and a lot of them are ones from like years ago. Celeste, Braid, Limbo, those have all been out for like several years. Now you have, I want to say it's like Little Nightmares 2 that came out. I want to say last year.
Puzzle games though.
Those are I mean, it kind of Little Nightmares is a puzzle game. Braid is debatable if it's really like a puzzle game. Celeste a little more so.
Well,
inside they had kind of puzzle elements, but they were really just about helping you build the experience. So that's why I'd say they're almost the evolution of like
Inside. I count. It's a platform, but it has puzzle elements that you need to do to be able to like actually do certain things, right? Or certain things you have to accomplish in order to be able to survive through there. But the ones I was thinking of were the stuff like some of the old school stuff like Adventure of Lolo, and then newer stuff like Portal and Portal 2, right? Not that Portal and Portal 2 are really, really new, but there's some of the newer examples.
Is that a puzzle game?
Portal? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would.
Portal's 100% a Portal game at its core.
All right. So what about Myst?
Myst is definitely a puzzle game.
And I think they tried to bring a game out like that more recently. There was a kind of spiritual successor to Myst. And I'm looking for it now.
I don't think Portal was ever on the N64.
Oh, he's going somewhere with this.
Portal was like 360 era.
Yeah.
The Scepter knows that. I think he's
unless
got
somebody
something else up
remade
his
it.
sleeve there.
See, I don't actually call Portal an FPS. I almost call I almost call it like an FPP, a first person puzzler, because it's a physics puzzle game at its core, right?
There's some bit of to shoot things.
No, you don't really shoot anything. You make portals that go different locations, and you drop things through them, or you drop the turrets through them. You have to figure out how to navigate your way through and survive through the stage. You don't have a gun except for one that opens up portals from one location to another. You don't have a weapon. Have you never played Portal, Mike?
No, I've played Portal. It's been a long time. I have it actually on I have it on the orange box on Xbox. So I'm seeing people call it a puzzle platformer.
That's what I would call it. That's what I call it, a first-person puzzle platformer game.
Yeah. I got it on the orange box, which has that Half-Life.
Holy crap! Roblox. Hey, man. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. How you been? He was hanging out on my channel like way back when I was doing like Mario Maker and stuff. It's been over a year since I've seen him. He's been like crazy busy. I've been good, man. It's absolutely awesome to see you again.
So Panda brings up a good genre too that I'll be honest with you, I miss. And it's not necessarily like the super seducer guy like I like. It's me too. But like we know Pandas did like the dating game videos, right? The
FMV style games, right?
And I think FMVs are starting to make that comeback because you're seeing a few more of them out there now. There's some detective ones. There's some others. I'm glad to see that. That's something I would like to see them try to do something along the lines of the Sewer Shark, Corpse Killer, Night Trap, Double Switch kind of stuff.
I think those would be fun. And I think Omni's pretty much got it nailed here. First person perspective shooter platformer puzzle.
He's got it.
Yeah. It's kind of a tongue twister, but I completely agree with this. I'm good with that.
Judges will allow.
Hey, Stampede, good to see you, man.
What's up, Stampede?
But yeah, FMV games are another one I'd kind of like to see more of. Yeah. Maybe not super seducer, maybe something a little.
No, I think ones where you overlay action sequences on top. Like I would love to see another like Sega CD had, and it wasn't just Sewer Shark, and it wasn't just. It's like Cobra Command, which was the arcade cartoon one.
And Panda, I am okay with you boring me with details on those because I might pick some of them up to play them. A Super Seducer is not really my cup of tea. It's fun for what it is, but I would never want to play that game alone. Playing it with somebody else just to laugh at it, the way you're playing it is absolutely the way to play that game.
And by the way,
Sewer Shark's amazing.
It is, and here's the funny thing.
It may not hold up today, but I had so much fun with that game back in the day.
To me, it holds. And I'll tell you what's really funny. I played the 3DO version of it while I was doing my VCS emulator testing. I don't like it as much as
call me dog meat.
Shoot the tubes, dog meat. The Sega CD version was actually better, even though the video quality of the 3DO was better, because when you are trying to remember what direction to shoot the tube to go to, on the Sega CD version, it lit up the outside of your screen. On the 3DO version, it lit up in this little reticle down where you can't really look. And when you start getting towards Sector 19, it gets almost impossible to go
Oh
in the
god,
right direction.
that honestly reminds me of what was it? Rocketeer. That I saw AVDN doing a review on. You had one smaller screen here. That's where you actually had to look to where you're flying, instead of the large area where you're actually seeing your plane. And so you had to navigate on the small area in the center and the bottom. Until you figured that out, you couldn't complete that stage at all.
Yeah, when I got a Super Nintendo, that was one of the first games I got because it looked really good. It took really good screenshots, so I got suckered in by that, and I could not get past that first section. So I got rid of the game.
I need to do some more Halo Roblox. I really do. I was doing that with a buddy of mine for a while, and we got out of doing it. But we need to do that. I'm wanting to bring some more modern stuff back to this channel, to be honest. This podcast is more focused on like the retro stuff, and honestly, that goes all the way up to like almost 360 now. God, I think the Wii's considered retro now too. Technically,
I don't want that kind of talk in my house, Nick.
Do what?
I don't want that kind of talk in my house, Nick. It's not, that is not old.
Yeah, Rebel Assault 1 was hot garbage. I wanted to like Rebel Assault.
I played Rebel Assault 2.
Snippy's just trying to troll both me and you, right?
I know. It was a good game.
It's okay. It's okay. I love Stampede too much to be angry at him for liking Sega. It's okay.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brothers. He did. Tell me that Ghost and Sewer Shark did remind you of Michael Biehn. Kyle Reese from the Terminator. Michael Biehn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. I haven't played The Forest. What is The Forest? I haven't seen that one. What is your FMV overlay elements? Yeah.
Yeah,
they were.
A diehard Sega fan is Stampede is because he only plays Genesis games on his channel. Oh wait, he only plays NES. I haven't actually seen him play any Genesis games. So
yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
You know, Center makes a good point.
I guess right here though, that's where it counts.
This is another topic that we could that we're definitely saving for another night. What's considered retro now?
Yeah, that's we could definitely.
That's gonna make us feel very old.
25 years.
Yeah.
30 years. I know it's like 2 console generations, I think is like a technical term. Like PS3 and 360 are getting, and Wii are starting to be considered retro, but
I think they're actually considered.
I need
retro.
more of a separation than that between that console and my own age. So,
like DS is considered retro pretty much at this point. Those are starting to go up in price. 3DS is kind of considered retro because those are starting to go up in price. And 3DS isn't. It's old, but it's not that many generations back. It's still old. I just watch him Rob glare at me now. It's like, I hate you.
Yeah. And I know Stampede was trolling me because, believe it or not, Stampede, I do watch your stuff. I do know your channel.
Yeah, we've all kind of introduced each other to new channels through this, which has kind of been the good thing about having our communities kind of come together like this. Is we all get to meet a lot of new people. And a lot of you guys that are new here, if you guys don't know Mike Mullis's channel, and a lot of these other guys from the GUG, which is the Gamers United Guild, which I'm a part of, a lot of those guys do a lot more modern content. So if you guys like modern content, there are good places to go to. And Mike himself will do a lot of retro streams on the weekend and various different nights too. So there's a lot of various different content going around, just covering gaming in general. Yeah. I think a few people do Battlefield and a little bit of Call of Duty here and there. I
do not do that.
I'm not a huge fan of those personally. I know there's some people in here that absolutely love those, and occasionally I like watching it from time to time. But I can never get to a point where I'm comfortable and starting to have fun with it on those games for me.
Halo-
It's just I struggle with it a lot.
Halo will stream once in a while when we got a bunch of people together to play Halo. I'll stream
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
I'm not a Call of Duty. I'm not a Call of Duty. I'm not a Fortnite. I'm not. What's funny is our show, which is on tomorrow night, is modern gaming, right? It's Xbox, PlayStation, Switch,
I'm loving Omni.
PC.
He's cracking me up. He's making good points while he's doing it.
I know. One of the right. One of the one of the things that I love about being here with you two is this is where I get to stretch my retro. God, it's so gonna sound so cheesy. My retro roots. It's because that's where I mean I'm almost 50 years old, so I was there.
And the original Battlefield, I would definitely consider retro at this point. I think that came
what
out.
What did that come out on?
I had it on PC, but I want to say it was like Dreamcast, Xbox One era that the first one came out, and I want to say it was like what Battlefield 1942 was one of the very first ones.
Hold on, I am looking. That
one's definitely retro. The series itself has been around a long time.
So it started on Windows and Mac with Battlefield 1942.
Yeah, that's the main one that I played.
Reference.
The first console game.
But you just now saw that one? I had that up for a while.
I just saw his comment to my reaction to it.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
a note.
It isn't bloody easy. Yeah. Now it looks like the first
Carl, if I can find Battlefield on the cheap, and I think 2042 is actually on the cheap because it was not well received.
Yeah, I'm at some point.
I would give it a shot, but just expect a lot of expletives coming out of my mouth as I die every 2 seconds.
Carla, give it another month or two, and it'll be in Game Pass through EA Play, and then I'm all yours. So, but it looks like the first Battlefield game that came to console was in 2005, Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. Came to PS2, Xbox, and 360. And then another one didn't come out again until Bad Company. Bad Company was the next one. And then from then on, you saw a lot more Battlefields on console.
And he's like, my mission is done.
So,
but yeah, I played the original Battlefield, and we never really actually played the game because we'd get like 3 or 4 of us and set up a server at like a LAN party. Okay, I guess I should explain what a LAN party is. A LAN party is when old people took their computers to each other's houses and hooked them up through an actual physical network, and then spent half the day cussing as we couldn't get it to working until we finally got to play something right about the time the pizza showed up for evening. Every now and then things would click, and you could do them like quickly. But yeah, usually there was a bit of a struggle bus of trying to get everybody's computer to behave well. And then we'd do like dumb stuff. Like we'd set up like a bunch of satchels near like a rock, and then have a Jeep run straight at it, and then detonate all of them at the same time to see how far we could get the Jeep to go. Usually with somebody standing on top of it, just to see how long they could stay on the Jeep. People would take like, I think it was Vietnam. I think it was actually had helicopters, and I knew a guy that would like pick up boats with a helicopter and then just like drop them onto like encampments and stuff like that to kill people, just to see dumb stuff that he could do.
I don't know. My friends and I never played any Call of Duty games. We played Unreal and Quake 3.
Oh yeah, Unreal.
That's right. LAN party because the 14.4 kill. See, Omni gets it.
Yep. So my big one. We played Doom. We played Quake. We played Duke Nukem.
Yeah, I was gonna say Duke Nukem was the other one.
That was a big fun one.
Oh, I had a lot of fun with Duke Nukem back in the day. Now, the new Duke Nukem, that last one they did, that they should have taken longer than forever to get that thing working. That was... I paid $6 for it, and I wanted my $6 back. Oh. It's sort of painful. Yeah, I knew a bunch of people that would do them with Xboxes, too. That was another really cool way of doing it.
Yep. Now...
Sister Phoenix is still here in the house. Thank you very much.
I did Xbox LAN over
that's just
modem
sadness,
gaming.
Jim. Warcraft 2 over 14.4. Oh, just hurts. It hurts.
But that was one of other genres though that we were talking about. Was real-time strategy games that don't really. I think World of Warcraft kind of took those over.
Yeah, right around Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3, most everybody else have fell down. I put Command and Conquer on here because that was the biggest competitor. Was Westwood with the Command and Conquer series to World of Warcraft. It was one of the most notable. Now they had a bunch of others.
I was going to say StarCraft would be probably the.
Well, it was about the same company. Blizzard made both StarCraft.
I know,
and
but
Warcraft.
You listed a specific name. I would list a specific game also and say that. I would say I know that the Command and Conquer is pretty big, but I would say between the two of them, other than World of Warcraft, StarCraft was either one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, those were two of the big. Those are still two of the biggest ones. Well, now more StarCraft than Warcraft because they're too busy doing like MMOs with Warcraft to do anything with the RTS side of Warcraft. And the last time that they did anything with it, it was problematic. And Age of Empires has held up absolutely. Age of Empires has such a and Game said it too. Age of Empires better than Command and Conquer. See, Age of Empires I always struggle with because Age of Empires is such a more advanced RTS. It's almost off-putting for people that are trying to get into the genre. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I kind of Civilization is another one. Yes.
You know, speaking of games in that time frame, in that kind of timeline, because you know. Those games came from old. There is another genre that I would like to see come back, and one company tried one of them, and
it's a pretty phenomenal name. I'll give him that.
Battle Beaver.
Yeah, he said Battle Beaver makes my favorite custom GameCube controller. I have no idea what Battle Beaver is. I'm gonna have to look. I'm afraid to look this up now.
Yeah, phrase it very carefully in Google. You might think of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Warcraft 3 actually gave rise to the MOBA, which much to Blizzard's irritation.
Yes. Which will be funny because now they'll all be in Game Pass.
Yep, pretty much.
Riot Games announced that they are putting all of their games.
Oh, see, that sounds fantastic. Increased thumb tension, increases the life of the 0 point dead zone. That sounds amazing, actually.
Mike, what were you saying now about the games that are in that genre or that time frame?
That time frame, not in the same genre as Civil, not in RTS, but I would like to see the return of point and click.
Yes. Matter of fact, I put Guybrush Threepwood on the thumbnail just to represent that genre because it's probably the one that I've had the most fun with. I've played a few of them. Grim Fandango, which was fun, but I struggled with that one a little bit.
I got to get back and play that.
Sam and Max, which I haven't played that series. I've heard good things. I tried Full Throttle, and I struggled to get into that one.
That's a weird one.
The DS and the Wii, they tried to most of the point and click games I played have been on those systems because those were like made to play point and click games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It seems like support and enthusiasm for the genre kind of died off all over again once those kind of fell off.
Pat is saying those never really went away, and he's played a few. He played at least one or two of those on stream.
Well, there was one that came out on Xbox and PlayStation a couple of years ago called Thimbleweed Park, and I know Peter played it, and he thought it was okay. Jim's headed where I'm headed. So, King's Quest, Quest for Heroes, Police Quest. I really loved Police Quest. Space Quest, which I would love to see. And The Odd Gentleman brought back King's Quest. I would love to see them bring back Space Quest.
I was about to say King's Quest had that resurgence not that long ago. And Omni, I agree with you on this statement completely.
But I also he brought up Indiana Jones games. There was an Indiana Jones game called The Fate of Atlantis. And it was on. You can get it on.
I really enjoyed Leisure Suit Larry. It was definitely one of those. You played
Lovers.
alone, and it definitely
played
had
alone with the lights
work
off.
mode button for a reason, but it was
Yes.
very fun.
Yes. Thimbleweed. Yeah. So that you're right. It was Ron Gilbert that did Thimbleweed. It was decent, but it wasn't as good as his. And they are, by the way, I do want to point out there is a Secret of Monkey Island, a new one coming out. Now
Yes.
that I think about it.
Yes.
So these are games.
I beat 1 and 2. I got a good ways into 3, but never finished it. But that one's apparently not official canon. Thimbleweed Park I played, but it had so many disparate stories and kind of went all over the board that I sort of tapered off and lost interest.
Part of my issue with it too. Yeah, Return to Monkey Island in 2022, which means I need to go through, and this one's also being made by Ron Gilbert, by the way. I need to go back because Secret of Monkey Island I bought a long
Fate
time
of Atlantis,
ago.
I haven't heard of this one.
That's the Indiana Jones game.
Oh, the Indiana Jones. Okay, yeah. Now I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I never played it. I've heard of it, but I've never played it. I heard it was good, though.
So there were 2 versions of it back in the day. It was one of those games that came out, and then a CD version came out where they recorded voiceovers. It was one of the first of the few of that burgeoning voiceover acting. And they got a guy who decently did Indiana Jones, but it actually if you had like an MT32, a Roland MT32, or a really good the Sound Blaster was fine, but if you had an MT32, the soundtrack to these games were beautiful. Legend of Kyrandia was another one by Westwood Studios that I really enjoyed.
Panda put a good one up here too. Now he played
Procession
this one.
to Calvary.
He played this one through on
He
his
did.
channel.
He did.
And that one is really hilarious. It's messed up.
I did watch him play that. That was I need to go and play it myself because I didn't realize.
Day of the Tentacles, another one I kind of want to go back and play.
Mhm.
Manic Mansion, I heard good things about.
Maniac Mansion, yup.
But see, most of these that we're talking about, with the exception of some of the ones that Panda mentioned, are older ones, or ones that have been remastered. Now, apparently, there's a number of them that have come out there, but they haven't. I feel like they've not really gotten the notice that they got back when LucasArts was really doing them, right? Because LucasArts was kind of the master of that game type back in the day. Because they would have been the ones doing the Indiana Jones ones. They're the ones that did Monkey Island. I think they're the same studio that did Grim Fandango. They also did Full Throttle.
Sam Max also.
Yeah, Lou, they did Sam and Max.
There have been some Sam and Max games recently.
New Twist of Metal. Oh, see, now that would be good. I would love to see the vehicular combat games come back, particularly with like twin stick controls, because most of them were done during like either where you had no analog stick at all, or you just had a single analog stick. Not many of them that I remember were played with the dual analog stick, because they kind of started dying out right around the Dreamcast era. Wasn't there like at least one Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 2? Ooh. Or did it die out before then?
No, the PlayStation 2 had Twisted Metal Black.
Oh, that's right. And they were going to remaster that, I thought. Weren't they talking about that a while back?
That sounds familiar.
Sid Meier's Pirates. That's another good game. I could never finish Sid Meier's Pirates, though. I was always too old to fight the last boss.
I loved Pirates.
It's a great game, but man, I struggled to. I never could beat that last boss, man. I was too old and slow.
Yep.
Like it really just crushed your speed.
Jim, I have the Twisted Metal PSP game. Yes, LucasArts had the Scum engine. That's the emulator for that is called Scum VM.
Okay, I can go with that. Rocket League is kind of an offshoot of that, but I don't necessarily. It kind of is and kind of isn't.
Vigilante 8 is more of an offshoot of that.
Oh, I love Vigilante 8. I had a blast with that game. And Second Offense. Both of those were great games.
I had those on the Dreamcast.
Daytona. Okay. I'm going to have to get a list from you, Panda.
I need that list too, because I really want to go and play some of those. And like I'm going back through and actually playing Fate of Atlantis because
I honestly have to look up guides on half of these because I get to the point to where I'm trying to solve the puzzles and I'm like, this is not making any sense. Like, this is not making any sense at all. And then I'll get the puzzle solution and I go, that makes no sense.
You know what? Scepter.
I played the one on the PSP, Jim. That one's really
Yeah, I
good.
have it. I have it in my PSP collection. Scepter, Scepter's got a good one. Arcade sports games are better than Sims.
I can go with that. I can go with that. I'm not big on a lot of those, but I do miss some of the ones like, well, Cruisin' had a release not that long ago with Cruisin' Blast.
What's that?
Like, Cruisin' Blast, Cruisin' USA.
Oh, I don't think he's talking about racers. I think he's talking about like NFL Blitz.
Like NBA Jam.
Yeah, like NBA
Jam,
NFL Blitz, stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see that. Blitz always drove me crazy because it was kind of cheap. Like when you got in the
it
lead, it
was.
would have you fumble like a million times.
It was, but I loved it. I have Blitz on the Dreamcast. Another so Midway did a bunch of those great games. NHL Hits.
That's fine, Carla. Thank you for hanging out, by the way.
Yeah.
Later, Carla.
MLB Slugfest, which was unbelievably fantastic. Like better than most of the sim baseball games at the time, and some of the most hilarious commentary you'd ever heard.
Yeah, I think if they really played up the commentary in some of those, like especially something like Mutant League, like what Jim mentioned.
Mutant League.
Because they had Mutant League Hockey. Now they did have they have like a NES hockey styled indie game that came out that was more on a little bit more violent because it used like I keep meaning to pick that one up because it looked really good.
Damn, if Peter was in the chat, he would know. Oh, Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder, awesome. I would love to see come back. That would be another good one to have back.
So interesting.
Most of those were Midway properties, and I don't know who owns those now.
Microsoft owns Hydro Thunder.
Okay, well maybe they'll actually do something with some of those then.
So Hydro Thunder Hurricane, which came out on the Xbox 360, which is backward compatible with the Xbox, was made by the IP is owned by Microsoft. It is made by oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I love these guys.
And Tyson's Punch-Out is a great arcade game.
Vector Unit developed Hydro Thunder Hurricane. The original, and I still have the original Hydro Thunder from Midway, as well as Arctic Thunder on the Dreamcast. So, yeah, Jim's right. There is a Mutant League football.
I didn't even know there was a new Mutant League football. That's kind of great.
Yep.
Because I always wondered what happened to that series. I know it was primarily on the Genesis. I don't remember it ever being on the Super Nintendo. But I remember looking and going, that looks pretty cool, but I'm just not into sports games, so I never picked it up. Blues is very much like sports games or FPS games. It depends. I would think that like Madden and like Call of Duty kind of like devalue just as quickly as each other since they have yearly releases. But ones like, say, Halo and Doom and stuff like that will hold their value a little bit more than anything that has a yearly release. See, honestly, if you guys are looking for another Punch-Out, particularly if you're into VR, there's one called Knockout League. And Knockout League is a VR version of basically Punch-Out. It's a Punch-Out game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty neat looking. I picked it up because it's got like a heavy bag simulator and stuff like that, things of that nature. And I wanted to do some of that, but I also wanted to play through the game as well. Just because it reminds me so much of Punch-Out. So
there's another game on the Game Boy Advance called
Wade
Hickston's Counterpunch that was.
I didn't even know about this one.
It was a pretty blatant Punch-Out clone with more of a story mode too. So you actually kind of had a character that you're kind of wandering around from fight to fight, but the gameplay itself was totally Punch-Out, and still the same level of ridiculousness too. They're all it was a cartoon game, so you were fighting Satan at one point.
I like it.
There you go.
Honestly, if I were gonna pick between the two, I would probably, if I had to pick, I'd probably say sports games. because there's still people that have certain versions of stuff like Call of Duty and Battlefield that they like playing more than others. So they tend to retain those. So those might hold their value a little bit better. If I had to take a guess.
Yeah, I would say that sports games by design lose value very quickly because one of the main points of the every new sports release is to devalue the one that came before it. So
yeah,
whereas the previous Call of Duty game still has its own unique storyline, I guess. I've never played one, so but I know that Kevin Spacey's been in them, so they must have some kind of story.
Hey Brian, how you doing, man? I didn't see you jump
Brian,
in.
brother Brian.
Yeah, GBA games are getting very pricey. I agree, and they have been for a while. Just keep adding technical. Well, they do keep like remastering The Last of Us. I mean, they're on like their third revision of that now. That just annoys me, dude. Like, I don't have anything against that game. I've never played through it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. But when you had that, it came out on the PS3. You remastered it for the PS4, which I thought, okay, fine. Now, you don't have to remaster it again because the PS4 games will play on the PS5. No, you're going to remaster for the PS5. I don't understand.
It's a remake of the remaster of the original.
Yeah, that's what's killing me. I don't know. It's just driving me crazy.
As long as racing
doesn't count as sports.
Well,
it
Jeff
sort
Keighley
of does.
Jeff Keighley it does. When they have the Game Awards every year, it's racing and sports. They combine those categories.
You know a sports game that's been vastly underrepresented for like years and years now? Bowling.
Wii was the only one that really did it.
Yeah. It's the only one that's done it since I saw like Brunswick Bowling and stuff like that came out on Dreamcast and PC.
What I don't understand is that there were a dozen Mario sports games. They never once did a Mario.
They never did bowling.
Perfect. That they could have. I think people would rather have Mario bowling than Mario baseball.
I would just like to see it like visited again.
Yeah,
I think it's been a long time since we've had that as a sports option.
So, maybe because the Wii did it so well, and that's why everyone got the Wii was to play bowling. That
did the Kinect have bowling? I don't remember the Kinect having bowling.
Yes, it was in Kinect Sports.
Oh,
so
I have that. I don't remember seeing it.
There was a Brunswick Pro Bowling by Bethesda for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And there was one for the Xbox, which was actually the
one for the Xbox would be the one that I remember.
So the one
because I had it on PC instead. I didn't know they had one for the Xbox One.
So the one for the original Xbox is what actually the Dreamcast game was supposed to be. And the Dreamcast
I don't know where this came from. I love it though.
The Dreamcast bowling game never released.
Okay.
So it ended up coming out as PBA Bowling 2001 for the Xbox. And I know because, again, I was covering it back then. I'm one of the few who has...
Tycoon series. Now, the Tycoon series...
The
Tycoon series works, but the thing about the Tycoon series that freaks me out is they kind of shoot themselves in the foot because they're sort of like the Sims game. They're sort of like the Sim City games, but they try to make those always online connected, and you're always connected to people now. And EA's done a really poor job of giving people what they want with that, which is just you being able to play.
I loved
Elf
SimCity.
Bowling.
Elf Bowling.
I remember Elf Bowling.
Yes.
I remember that one. That was like a Flash game that got ported over to the DS or something.
And everyone hated it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was not a good game. It was funny, but it was not a good game. Was there a Mario Time Travel game?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, there was, but I think it was like ages ago. There's not a more modern one.
Oh, it was back in time.
Yeah. Or there was a Mario's Lost or something like that. There was the one Edutainment game that was a Mario Time Travel game.
Oh my God, Panda.
Mario Batman.
Apparently,
Because you just want to
Jago,
hear him say Shuttlecock.
apparently Jago went to bed, so Panda's taking over.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Bunky boing. I see. I can't play the Virtual Boy. It hurts my eyes.
Hurts everybody's eyes.
Apparently not Panda.
Well,
Apparently he can play. He loves the Virtual Boy, and more power to people who love the Virtual Boy. That system needs some love because it's not getting it from me. Because every time I play it, it tries to like make me blind.
I wish I had a way to play it on my TV and then change the color. If I could do that, because I have a bunch of Virtual Boy games and I got a Virtual Boy, I just don't want to play it.
Yeah, that's well. Part of my problem with it is it was so big and heavy that it needed that stand. So you kind of had to hunch over every time you wanted to play it.
I don't really.
The controller didn't really come too far away from it. And then just looking inside the unit usually caused my eyes to hurt after a very short amount of time playing the game. And so that's the major problem. It was mostly my eye strain that was the worst part for me. I could have adapted to everything else. That was the one thing I could never overcome.
Scepter, looking at his Virtua Tap comment, I think I was talking to EC Myers about this, and I'm tempted to. I'm tempted to mod. I spent almost $200 on my Virtual Boy, so I'm really reluctant to mess with it too much. But gotta find an extra one. If I had an extra Virtual Boy,
you might be able to get your
laugh.
hands on them. I don't know. I don't know how many of them are still around.
It's one of these, like, it's Atari Jaguar. It's a system that did not do well, so of course it's collectible and expensive now.
And
so.
yeah, it's expensive because people, even if nothing else, people just want it back behind them because
$200 cool. Was a decent price when I bought it 8 years ago. I can't imagine what it is up to now.
It was $300 back then?
No, when I bought, like, as a collector, as I bought it, $200 for the system and the games was a decent price. I felt like I actually got a decent deal. I don't know what kind of price it commands now. Now that when I bought mine, it was before retro really kicked in.
I'm seeing them for around $360 to $375 used. Yeah. I saw there's one for as low as $305. But they get fairly expensive fairly quick. I don't remember what it retailed for. I want to say it was like $200.
Probably normal console price at the time.
Yeah, about $150 to $200 would have been about average. I'm not rushing out to buy one right now, as neat as it looks. I mean, the unit always looked neat, but anything that causes me that kind of pain, I'm not really going to use. And
plus, they're really temperamental. So even if you bought one, there's no guarantee it would work.
It would actually work.
So.
Okay,
but if you mod it, I guess it doesn't need the mirrors if you are modding it, right? In theory.
Yeah.
But the mod I was looking at was only like, I want to say $70.
Modded one for $650. What is a modded one? What is that?
It gives it an out so you can connect it to your TV.
Okay.
And I probably wouldn't have anyone else modded. I just do it myself.
Yeah, I never had any problem with the controller for the Virtual Boy.
The controller was cool.
Like I said, everything for the Virtual Boy kind of worked except for that red color, which I had a hard time coming to grips with, and the eye strain, which I think was partially because of the really bright red color just boring into my skull.
Well, and that was the problem with the whole thing. That's what everybody's problem was. It should have been a nice, soothing blue.
Or green. Green would have worked as well.
Green, yeah.
Because monochrome monitors were using like
Hercules,
an orange and like a green color for
there
pages.
We go. We could use that. It could have been in that Hercules amber color.
There you go.
Everyone wanted that to happen. It just never. Nintendo Nintendo does this thing where even if they know people want it, they want to pretend something doesn't exist, so they just sweep it under the rug.
Or charge you $100 for it.
I think that they would sooner let you forget about it than even take your money for it. That's kind of the way Nintendo operates.
For its dual D-pads. That's actually kind of cool. I like that idea. As a dual D-pad could work almost like a dual analog when you really think about it. To an extent, wouldn't have the same precision, being able to go slow, but you'd be able to at least turn quickly and stuff like that. That could be kind of neat.
They are weird. They got their weird ego that makes them do stupid things. But I wonder if a broken Virtual Boy is.
I have no idea.
Financially viable. Can you get?
I mean, I'm having enough fun with my Oculus right now. That kind of fills my VR needs at the moment. I mean, I like the Virtual Boy for its kind of place in history. You know what I mean?
There's some decent games on it though, like Telerobobot. Speaking of Punch Out, the Telerobo Boxer. Sorry, there's a mouthful. The Wario Land game was good.
Waiting to see Labo prices when it becomes retro. Oh God, Labo's so weird, man. Like, I like the idea, but if they hadn't just done it with like cardboard, that I think would just break down too quickly, I would think more fondly of it. They really leaned into that for a little while, and then it kind of like disappeared.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Most of the cardboard's probably broken down now too.
Well, yeah.
Cardboard doesn't have a very good shelf life.
No.
So we kind of hit a good chunk of the genres I was kind of talking about.
We missed the big one.
Which was the big one that we missed? What did I miss?
Light gun game. There you go.
Like, I actually, honestly, light gun games have started to move more into the territory of VR. I would like to see some of them return on consoles, particularly on the Switch because you have the Joy-Cons, and I don't think you need a sensor bar to make the Joy-Cons kind of aim where you want them to aim, which could make them pretty fun.
But I mean, I've seen the issue is people keep the issue people keep bringing up.
Thank you, Phoenix.
That you can't do it on a modern television, right? But you go to Dave and Buster's, and half the games that they have that are shooters, because there's like two types of games at Dave and Buster's now: either gun games or those big ass arcade things.
Right.
I saw a Tomb Raider shooting game, and the thing was on a big giant HD TV, and I didn't see a sensor bar or anything like that. There are definitely ways. I know Polymega was working on a gun, but of course it's Polymega. We need gun game. I would love to have some new gun games.
Well, here's the thing. I know they have arcade cabinets you can build now, have light gun attachments to them. I've seen a few of them online.
Buck Hunter, from 1UP, Big Game Hunter, Cabela's Big Game Hunter has the gun, so it can be done. It's just a matter of we need some. Who made? I know Konami made Lethal Enforcers, and they had the guns for the Genesis, and I had the Sega CD version. I'm trying to think who
the
made
PlayStation. I know had a bunch of them too, because I know Dizzy, who I don't see much this time of night. I think he's in a bad time zone for us. He did like a series of streams for a while where he was playing a bunch of different light gun games, and I think he had them all on like PS2, PS1, PS2. But they did die out pretty heavily, except for the arcade experience. You're right. The last console I remember doing them was the Wii. Because the Wii had a decent number. There were like 3 to 5 of them on the Wii at least.
And the Wii had a gun controller that you slid.
Yeah, I had a few of those because they had one that was like a pistol that you could get, and I had that. They had the one that came with Link's Crossbow Training, which is an excellent game, by the way. And that one was good. Yeah, Namco was the king of light guns for a long, long time. They had a bunch of them, dude.
Virtua Cop, House of the Dead. I don't know. I mean, they had
Terminator as well.
Namco had.
They had Time Crisis.
They had Time Crisis.
Time Crisis was dope.
Time Crisis was great. Now, where Time Crisis had a neat thing over Virtua Cop was the ability to take your foot off that pedal and hide. I will grant you that. Who did Terminator?
The arcade game?
Yeah, light gun game.
Wasn't that Midway?
I'm not sure.
They do kind of do that game. Do that games. However, those are more VR games. Half-Life Alyx has some of those experiences. Boneworks has some of that built into it. If you're okay with an on-rails one, Pistol Whip does that.
Yeah. Terminator Judgment Day arcade game. I thought it was Sega, but it might not be.
If they could ever make the Power Glove work,
no, it was made by Midway.
Oh, it was Midway. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the 1UP. So there's 1UP makes a version of it with the guns.
Yeah, they made a Terminator cabinet as well. They made the big Buck Hunter one, which I had no interest in. But the Terminator one looked a lot more intriguing to me.
It is $900.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They've started to get out of hand with their prices, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, the two
I have not tried Mario Kart in VR
light gun
now.
games on the Wii were awesome.
The light gun games on the Wii were probably some of the best ones we've had in a while.
But that had to have the sensor bar, so that's.
Yeah, it did have to have the sensor bar, and the sensor bar worked with the Wii U, but it doesn't translate up to the Switch. But I don't know how the Joy-Cons work necessarily. I know they'll do like motion and stuff like that, but I don't know if they'll do like aiming precision. I don't know that I've tried anything that does that. I don't know that they've done anything that uses that. I know they have stuff like ARMS works with it, but ARMS is just kind of like motion sensing, right? It's not necessarily trying to aim. So I don't know if that works or not. If it does, then it's kind of like something that they... Oh, I'm starting to stutter.
Wait a minute. Nick, Rob, say something because you're starting to stutter too.
Am I doing it now too? Oh my god.
Yeah, I wonder if it's me. I wonder if
it's you, because I'm not seeing Nick do it.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anybody stutter at all.
Yeah, it might be my internet connection.
Well, I mean, we should probably be wrapping up here in a little bit anyway. It's almost 10:30.
Yeah.
I was going to spend some time with my wife, and we've had a good long stream talking about a bunch of different genres.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would absolutely like to see some form of... Doesn't necessarily have to be a light gun, because the Super Scope didn't really do a light gun, right? That used a different technology. So you could definitely do something like that. Now, that was still on like CRT TVs. And Brett's saying we're all clear. Yeah, and Panda saying all the
I think it's me. My guess is it's me.
Okay.
Because both of you guys are.
So here's Arcade Pilot laughing and I bet the Super Scope. Yeah, I like the Super Scope. Didn't get a lot of games, but it was very accurate, and I thought it was fun. And besides, it was fun. It was fun to hold up a bazooka and shoot it. That made me giggle.
Yep, I loved my Menacer, and like I said, and I might still have them in my aisle of misfit controllers, but I still have the pistols for my Lethal Enforcers. Hold on, let me see if I still have Lethal Enforcers. Hang on a second.
Lethal Enforcers was a good game. Hi, by the way, Arcade Pilot. My bad. I should have said hi first.
Yeah, here we go. I still have. Whoa. Here we go. I still have Lethal Enforcers 2 Gunfighters for.
Nice.
Yeah, for the Sega CD. It was fantastic.
I never had the Zapper I never had the Menacer. Like I never found any games for it or anything like that. I don't know.
Came with that Toe Jam and Earl tomato game. What the hell is it called? Toe Jam and Earl.
We have the legitimate George Lucas here.
Lucas is here. George, can you buy Lucas back from Disney, please?
At least just the Lucas Arts part of it, so we can get games.
Yeah,
I want somebody doing games.
I want somebody doing the movie.
Duck Hunt. I remember playing Duck Hunt. I remember playing the one with the Super Scope. I never had Hogan's Alley. I think Duck Hunt was the only light gun game I actually had on my NES, and I played a ton of that.
Hogan's Alley was good.
Yeah, I remember hearing good things about Hogan's Alley. Oh, there's Ron Moore. Hey, Ron.
What's up, Ron Mower?
We had all sorts of people coming in here.
Oh, yeah. Exactly,
He
Panda.
sells the Disney George.
Exactly.
Because money, and we're all giving a hard time about the prequels trilogy. So
That's true.
why would
That's
he
true.
want-
There was a lot of hate going his direction with the prequel trilogy, and they offered him
George,
a lot
the
of money.
prequels trilogy sucked. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But you know that. So, did not like.
Well, here's the thing. I was having a discussion with that with a buddy of mine, and he was telling me like all the background from like the books and stuff that they wrote, which were like built off the source material that he was actually going to use and put into the movies. And I'm like, God, if he put that in there, I would have like freaking loved that. Hey, what's up, lover of C5? Good to see you, man. Thanks for popping in. Nice. I've not gotten into the Battlefield zone, man. I'm not a huge Battlefield or Call of Duty guy. I am so bad at those. I'm really bad at those. How's Eugene?
What's up?
We stayed up late enough that Eugene made it.
Yeah. Well, we missed the part where you could have actually chimed in because I was talking about the out mods for the Virtual Boy.
Shooting gallery for the Odyssey was. I never got to play that. I've seen footage of it. Yeah, all sorts of people popping in now. Hell, right as we're wrapping up the stream, everybody comes in.
That's how it usually works.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I always feel bad ending the stream. Yeah, the aliens versus. I think I vaguely remember playing this one a little bit. I remember the beat 'em up more than I remember this one though. I have no idea where we're going with this. I don't know where we're going. I'm so lost.
Simply when it is time to go.
Yeah.
I'm off. Well, if we ended the stream every time I was lost, we would never have a stream. There's Zombie. What's up, Zombie?
Hey, Zombie.
AVP2 was one of my favorites. I loved that game, but man,
AVP
like
on the
some
Jaguar
of those campaigns were tough, man. The human was okay. The alien one was all right. I struggled with the Predator one of all things. I don't know why I struggled with that one. It should have been the easiest one, but it felt so weird when I was playing him. Like I had to stay stealth the whole time. I'm like, this guy's like 10 times stronger than everybody has better gear. Why am I? What? Why is it a stuff? I'm confused.
Oh, by the way, Rob,
that was a fun game though.
Hmm.
Revolution X was actually kind of fun.
Actually,
you got your controller. Hang on.
I am too.
Go.
Sorry, I was just showing.
How's it going, Mike? Good looking guy. Yeah. I also have the. I guess what I have is probably also the edition of Knights that came with that because I have a standard CD.
I have that too.
Shane's got a light gun.
Here's what's weird about this controller, and they never did anything else with it. The connector came off, and I always wondered what else would they do with this. And
I don't know. It's a good idea, though.
Turns out nothing.
Well, I mean, having that kind of breakaway is the kind of thing that Xbox started doing, which was a really good idea.
But this was, I mean, and the other thing too is you see how kind of rounded this is. Believe it or not, this fits in your hand extremely well. Extremely.
No, that always looked like a comfortable controller.
It was like.
Wasn't that the Knights controller?
Yes, this was the Knights controller, but it worked with a ton of games. So if you had games like it worked with Daytona USA, so it didn't work with the original Daytona because the controller wasn't out yet, but they remade Daytona into the championship edition. And when they did that, they added 3D controller support for it. There were some great games that played well with this controller.
Arcade, I think that's the only one that did that. I don't think the others detached like that.
No, they did not. It was the only one.
Yeah, and Xbox was the only other one that was really well known for having those breakaways.
Yep.
And I think they started that actually with the original Xbox, which was a good idea because if somebody ran in front of you, they would just disconnect.
Xbox controller secondhand, it's hard to actually find one that actually still has that connector.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Thankfully, all mine do. That's a retro roots we ought to do. Strange controllers, because I got some really neat kind of knockoff controllers?
Well, let's say that one for a couple of weeks because when I start the new channel. That's one of the things on the gaming oddities is there's a couple of like bizarre controllers I want to cover on those eventually.
I've got some, and maybe bizarre is the wrong word. I've got some neat controllers that are kind of things that unorthodox controllers. Yeah,
I've seen some that look like chainsaws. I've seen some that look like katanas.
I want that chainsaw controller. I wish I bought it back then. I can't imagine how that could possibly have been comfortable to use.
I had the Capcom one, the 6-button one, where the button pad was turned like this. That never really made any sense.
I've got an Xbox controller that was built for first-person shooters that you hold like grips. And it was
seems weird to me because the Xbox controller was already designed for FPSs.
But you could use your fingers to like it. I'll show it to you when we do this episode. You will love it.
That'll be fun. I'm gonna have to get some more ideas because that's a series I want to kind of keep going and everything. And that's one of those I've missed. That would be cool to see.
Well,
Panda's launching one about stamp collecting knitting. That is dope.
I love, man. I wish I still have my stamp collection. I bet it's at my parents' house.
You know what? I bet you if you just knitted on, if you just did like a 20-30 minute thing of like someone knitting, just showing them knitting, people would just watch it because it would be cathartic. Sold.
So next time we actually meet together for Retro Roots, we'll all have played the Ninja Turtles game.
Yes, we
will have, and we might have played it together.
We might have,
because I do want to get a group together on that at some point. That should be fun.
So, you might say that this week is the start of the rest of our lives, based on the hype around this game.
I don't know if it's going to completely live up to the hype, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I expect to get since I can play it 6-player and I can get like other people to jump in, I expect to be revisiting this one more than I do Streets of Rage. And
I think I
still go back and play Streets of Rage occasionally.
Has the hype justified? Everyone loves Streets of Rage 4.
Streets of Rage 4 was very good.
Yeah.
It was an incredible game. I thought they did a fantastic job on it. Some of those areas, man, I was trying to go back and beat it. And we did it with a buddy of mine, and that last boss sequence was just a nightmare. Like, I don't know how I beat it the first time I beat it. I believe there's any room for the new major successes. I don't know. I mean, Mr. Beast kind of came out of nowhere, and he exploded. I'm going to get it on Steam. I know it's on Game Pass, and I may pick it up on Switch as well.
Yeah, I'm getting it on Xbox, obviously.
Yeah, but PS4.
Obviously, like everybody
is another good one.
Who I am.
My worry with the Switch version is if you get 6 people, is there going to be slowdown? Because the Switch is just underpowered compared to the other systems. And while it's not really a super graphically intense game, I expect with 6 people and all the craziness going on, it might struggle a little bit. There we go. Flea markets are open again. More games and stamps. Cowabunga, dudes! I'm going to have to get like a pizza for when I start playing that one.
Oh, yeah. I can eat pizza on stream.
I thought Mr. Beast already flew by PewDiePie, actually. But,
oh, man.
Hey, you go.
You know what? I'm going to be actually camping Friday. I am not going to be able to play it until I get back.
I'll probably play it off and on this weekend, mostly because I'm going to be on call, so I'm not really going to be going.
Yeah, and I'm going to be up in Jersey, so I mean, I'm not. It's not one of those things where I can play it during the day. Like we're leaving out at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I think it's even on physical, it's supposed to be kind of like a cheaper game, like a $30 game.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be very expensive at all.
If I don't know how easy it's going to be defined physically. I'm just going to go to Best Buy that day. So.
I don't know. I was thinking about just ordering it on Amazon and seeing if it'll get like delivered.
Eugene has a Steam Deck. That probably is a great place to play it.
You go with
that. That's one of the reasons I was going to buy it on Steam is because then I can just put it on the Steam Deck and I can play it on Steam.
Wow.
So I can play it on my PC. I can play it on the go.
Dude,
it'll be a good.
Slav just passed
like
right over me. Passed right over me.
You what?
Matthews, DLP, Jim.
I approve.
And hey geeks, hey Matthews, who's that asshole with you?
See, he's still bypassing you.
That's fine. That's all right. I get it.
I
get
it.
Wow, is that right? I thought it was all coming out on the same
I thought
day.
they were all coming out at the same time.
Eugene, you're harshing my buzz here.
I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm definitely buying it on Steam at least then, because I can hook the Steam Deck up to my TV and I can play it that way. And
hold on,
I'll at least have it on Steam, and I'll probably play it on Game Pass.
let me see. It doesn't. It just says coming soon. That can't be right.
Well, I know it's dropping this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
August 31st?
Okay. Well, I guess
really?
strike what I said last about how we're all going to be on the other side of having played this game on our next episode, because I probably will not. So,
well, just
if I know it's coming out physically, I'm not going to buy it digitally.
I don't disagree with you. That's a funky game, but the more I see of it, the more I want to pick it up and play it.
Next July.
Next July, yeah, that sounds about right.
It's weird. I'm not seeing a date from Limited.
Yeah, we're about to wrap up, Panda. We've been trying to wrap up for a while, and the new people keep coming in, so we're struggling to wrap up here.
Lock the door.
Okay, all right, here we go. Pre-orders close for the limited run. Pre-orders close on Sunday, July 24th at 11:59. So that's just when they pre-orders close. That's not when it ships. They don't have a ship date. It says we expect to ship this product in late July or early August.
When's it? You know what? I don't even care anymore. So it's not. Is it not going to be in stores?
It will not. It's just limited. It's just limited run.
Well, limited run. It seems like every month every once in a while they do have a game. They just have a deal with Best Buy.
Yeah, it does not.
I thought they were releasing it other ways because I thought I saw it listed on Amazon and stuff.
It does not.
Well, there's no other.
There's no other links to anything like that. I'll check Best Buy while you check Amazon.
There's the Cowabunga collection. I knew that was getting a physical release.
So Best Buy looks like it's going to carry it, but the release date they have says August 31st. But that's, of course, always a placeholder. So it does look like it does look like they're going to sell it, but it doesn't look like they have the special editions.
No, I think the special. I'm not worried about the special edition because a lot of that stuff that's in there, some of it's really good. Like the soundtrack is the most appealing thing, quite frankly.
Yeah, which I can find by other means eventually.
But yeah, I'm not seeing it on Amazon, which is weird. I see the Cowabunga collection, but I don't see Shredder's Revenge listed on here.
By the way, the Cowabunga collection for $150, the limited edition.
That seems ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah, comes out December 31st, according to.
Even Eugene saying it's going to be in stores too. So,
all right. Well,
it's at least going to be in Best Buy.
We'll at least we'll see how this week goes. So
yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried so much about the limited edition. Hey, Taters, I'm not worried so much about the limited edition.
These weren't limited edition. These were.
I'm just looking for the regular copy. I'd just like to have a regular physical copy. Yeah, and it really shouldn't. Well, I understand it costing a little more, but the prices have been level set for so long that you're paying the same for the digital version that you pay for the physical version, and they just make more profit off the digital version.
It does not look like Walmart will have it. However,
Metro Prime 4 back when it was considered released December 31st, 2018. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's been waiting forever on that. Good God.
By the way,
we're good, Taters. Thank you for asking.
Hey, how you doing, guy like Taters? As a consolation prize, you can get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pizza Cookbook.
Wow.
Ooh, fantastic.
Yes. And that arrives by Thursday, June 16th. So. Oh, wait a minute. June 16th is a Thursday. I will be able to play it, and because our show is no longer on Thursdays, we might stream it. So, Nick, you might.
I might jump in with you on that one. That could be fun.
That is going to be a fun stream.
Yeah, that might be fun. I could see doing that. All right, I'm definitely going to end this here. It is 10:30. I'm going to spend at least 20, 30 minutes with my wife. I'm probably going to stay way too late.
Time zones, dude. It's 12.
I know. Here. Yeah. Well, I can't help it. You live in the wrong time zone.
Everyone lives in Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, most are.
Except for the other two people on the panel.
Everyone are in that time zone.
But thank you so much for coming in, everybody, and all the new people. There are way too many of you for me to name up by name. Thank you very much, Carla, for sending the battle crew in here. They came in, they shot up all the place, and then I think they went to go play more Battlefield. But it was wonderful having them during the time that they were here. They were great company, and so was everybody else that came in tonight. Thank you so much. You guys always make this an awesome show. We are looking forward to doing this again in about 2 weeks. And there's Lit. Damn it!
Night, everyone.
Hi, Lit. Night, Lit. Damn it!
Y'all want to talk some Xbox and Summer Games Fest? We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep. NLG will be tomorrow at 7:30. You guys mark that on your calendar. It's also a very, very good show. At 7:30 Mountain Time. That'll be 9:30 Eastern Time or 6:30 Pacific Time. 8:30 Central, since I have to do all the time zones around here.
Oh my goodness. You guys are all awesome.
I blame him. It's his fault. His fault.
It's like a kung fu movie.
Blame him.
Hello.
Right.
Hello. He-Man, can you hear me?
No, he cannot. He dead. All right. Good night, everybody. Happy gaming.
Play on, gamers.